Thank you. Let's go live to Buckingham Palace. Louise Beale is standing by. Louise, as you heard there with my chat with Joel, it's generating a lot of reaction in this country as well as people pay their respects and mourning as well for the great service, the incredible 7 decades of duty and service from Her Majesty. The new King delivered his first national address, meanwhile, to the UK. What was your sense on how it was received?
It was received really well. In fact, many commentators have already said on social media how well pitched they thought it was, and it's certainly going to be on the front pages of all our newspapers in the morning. But I think it did hit the right notes, and I think it was sad, and you could see the emotion in King Charles, but also he was very respectful of his mother and all that she had achieved. He was here a little earlier around our lunchtime today. He came to Buckingham Palace. It's the first time we'd seen him and the first time he'd actually met people since his mother died. But he came here, he met with the hundreds of people who were outside Buckingham Palace who had laid flowers, shook their hands, some of them kissed him, which is against royal protocol, but there was a very warm reception for him. And plenty of people who came down said they just didn't want to miss this opportunity to come.
And so what's next, Louise, in terms of the schedule and the order of things now? Talk us through it.
So tomorrow, King Charles will officially be proclaimed king. This is normally a private ceremony that he doesn't necessarily even have to attend and is usually just by officials. But tomorrow it's going to be televised, we've heard this evening, for the first time ever. So that's quite an interesting development because, as I've said, that's never happened before. Then, as your colleague mentioned, flags will then be flown. Instead of being at half-mast, they'll be flown properly to celebrate the fact that we have a new king just for 24 hours. And then on Sunday, the Queen's body will be taken to Edinburgh. She's still at Balmoral at the moment, but be taken to Edinburgh to lay in state. And then she will be flown down to London for the same thing for 4 days here in London, where people can queue up and pay their respects. That is then before we move on to the full state funeral, which we still don't have an exact date for yet. We're waiting for the palace to confirm when that will be, but we are told it's likely to be a week on Monday.
Yeah, that's certainly the expectation from this side of the world as well, from our government, and the planning for the Prime Minister and Governor General, I think, is around that date as well. Louise, thank you for joining us live from Buckingham Palace.